Imagine a world where water and light create the most spectacular explosion of life our planet has ever known. A place where the boundary between earth and sky blurs beneath a living cathedral of green. A realm where more species exist in a single acre than in entire countries elsewhere. This is the Amazon, not merely a forest, but the forest, Earth's greatest expression of life's creativity. A living, breathing colossus spanning 9 nations across an area larger than Western Europe. Here, 1 in 10 known species makes its home in a web of relationships that has evolved over millions of years. Welcome to Wild Discoveries with Sarmad. Today we journey into Earth's most vital ecosystem, a place where a quarter of the world's fresh water flows, where trees create their own weather, and where life exists in such abundance that science has only begun to catalog its treasures. The Amazon holds secrets that whisper of our planet's past, and may hold keys to our future. Beneath its canopy lie undiscovered medicines, ancient knowledge, and ecological processes that help regulate our global climate. Join us as we unveil the mysteries of this magnificent living tapestry, a realm where everything exists in overwhelming abundance, towering trees, mighty rivers, astounding diversity, and perhaps the most important ecosystem for humanity's future. The Amazon defies ordinary measurement. This forest doesn't just impress, it rewrites our understanding of what nature can achieve. 1 in 10 known species on Earth calls the Amazon home. A single hectare may contain more ant species than all of Britain and more tree species than all of North America. Even more astonishing, a single tree can host up to 400 different insect species. The Amazon creates 20% of Earth's oxygen, earning its title as the lungs of our planet. Every breath you take likely contains molecules generated by Amazonian trees. Water flows here in volumes that defy comprehension. The Amazon River discharges more water than the next 7 largest rivers combined. During flood season, the river expands to over 30 miles wide in places, with its mouth so vast that one bank cannot be seen from the other. The forest canopy forms an almost continuous roof over 1.4 billion acres, so dense that a raindrop falling on the upper leaves can take 10 minutes to reach the ground. This living roof is home to creatures that may live their entire lives without ever touching the forest floor. The Amazon hosts nature's greatest builders. Leafcutter ants construct underground cities with populations larger than New York, complete with ventilation systems and agricultural chambers. These colonies move tons of soil during their existence, creating structures that can last decades. The forest's chemical laboratory has produced compounds that boggle the mind. The poison dart frog contains enough toxin to kill 10 humans, yet measures smaller than a paperclip. The bullet ant delivers the most painful sting known to science, described as like walking over flaming charcoal with a nail embedded in your heel. Perhaps most remarkable is what we still don't know. Scientists estimate that only 1% of the Amazon's plant compounds have been studied for their medicinal potential. A new species is discovered, on average, every 2 days. The Amazon basin stretches across 2.7 million square miles of South America, an area that could swallow Western Europe whole. This colossal ecosystem spans 9 nations, with Brazil holding the lion's share, followed by Peru, Colombia, and 6 others. At its heart flows Earth's most powerful waterway. Born in the Peruvian Andes, the Amazon River journeys over 4,000 miles to the Atlantic, discharging 1/5 of all fresh water entering our planet's oceans. So vast is its mouth that early explorers called it the River Sea. This mighty river is fed by over 1,100 tributaries, including 7 that would rank among the world's largest rivers on their own merits. Together, they form a vast network draining an area roughly 40% the size of North America. The forest itself divides into distinct ecosystems. Terra firme forests grow on higher ground that never floods. Varzea forests occupy seasonally flooded areas along whitewater rivers, their plants and animals adapted to months underwater each year. Igapo forests line blackwater rivers, their dark, acidic waters creating unique conditions for specialized species. Most areas receive between 80 to 160 inches of rainfall annually, 4 times the precipitation of London or New York. Yet this rain doesn't fall evenly throughout the year, creating cycles of flood and drought that drive the forest's ecological rhythms. Perhaps most remarkable is how the Amazon creates its own weather. Through a process called evapotranspiration, its trillions of leaves release massive amounts of water vapor into the atmosphere, essentially breathing out clouds. These flying rivers carry more water through the sky than the Amazon River itself, eventually falling as rain that sustains the forest in a magnificent self-watering system. High above the forest floor stretches the Amazon's most distinctive feature, its multi-layered canopy. This living roof covers an area roughly half the size of the continental United States, forming Earth's largest solar panel as it captures the tropical sun's energy. The emergent layer reaches highest, with scattered giants soaring 200 feet above the forest floor, taller than a 20-story building. These colossal trees stand like sentinels above the main canopy, their crowns exposed to sun, wind, and storm. Here, harpy eagles, powerful enough to snatch monkeys with talons the size of bear claws, build massive nests. Below lies the main canopy, a dense, nearly continuous roof of foliage where the true miracle of the Amazon unfolds. This sunlit realm captures 90% of all incoming solar energy, converting it through photosynthesis into the sugars that fuel the entire ecosystem. Life in this aerial world has evolved extraordinary adaptations. Epiphytes, plants that grow on other plants, form hanging gardens in the treetops, collecting nutrients from decaying matter in their own miniature ecosystems. Bromeliads create living water tanks that host entire communities of specialized creatures, from tadpoles to tiny crabs. The canopy hosts an astonishing diversity of pollinators. Hummingbirds with specialized bills hover with precision to extract nectar from specific flower shapes. Thousands of bee species transfer pollen between widely scattered trees of the same species. Without these aerial matchmakers, the forest's reproductive cycle would collapse. For mammals, the canopy offers superhighways in 3 dimensions. Spider monkeys swing through branches using prehensile tails as 5th limbs. Sloths move with deliberate slowness, their fur hosting gardens of algae that provide camouflage. Margays hunt at night with ankle joints that rotate 180 degrees, allowing them to descend trees head first. Beneath the sunlit canopy lies a different realm, the Understory, where only 2 to 5% of sunlight penetrates to create a world of perpetual twilight. This shadowy dimension has driven extraordinary adaptations as plants and animals compete for limited light. Here, plants employ specialized strategies to survive in low-light conditions. Understory leaves grow larger and darker than their canopy counterparts, maximizing light-gathering surface area. Many develop purple undersides that reflect red wavelengths back through the leaf for a second chance at photosynthesis, extracting every possible photon from the dim environment. The limited light means plants must be strategic about reproduction. Many flower directly from their trunks rather than branches, a phenomenon called cauliflory that allows pollinators to find them easily in the dim light. Others produce fruits with bright colors or strong scents to attract seed dispersers through the gloom. This shadowy world hosts some of the Amazon's most distinctive creatures. Poison dart frogs display brilliant warning colors, electric blues, vibrant yellows, striking reds, advertising their toxicity. These tiny amphibians obtain their poison from specialized diet and lose their toxicity in captivity, demonstrating how intimately creatures are connected to their specific habitat. The understory is a realm of patience and stealth. Leaf mimic insects disappear against foliage with disguises so perfect they include fake damage patterns. Praying mantises wait motionless for prey, some resembling orchid flowers so convincingly that insects land directly on their hunting arms. At the base of the rainforest lies perhaps its most paradoxical feature, a world of both death and rebirth. The forest floor receives less than 1% of the sunlight that strikes the canopy, creating conditions so dark that few plants can survive. Yet this dim realm powers the entire ecosystem through the miracle of decomposition and nutrient cycling. Unlike temperate forests with their rich soils, Amazonian soils are surprisingly poor in nutrients. The rainforest's incredible productivity exists despite its soil, not because of it. The secret lies in the rapid recycling of nutrients, a system so efficient that very little remains in the soil at any given time. When leaves, fruits, and branches fall from above, they encounter Earth's most efficient recycling system. A square meter of rainforest floor hosts billions of decomposers, fungi, bacteria, termites, beetles, and countless other organisms that break down dead material with extraordinary speed. A fallen leaf that might take a year to decompose in a temperate forest disappears in weeks in the Amazon. This decomposition layer hosts some of the planet's most diverse fungal communities. Bioluminescent species create eerie nighttime displays as their mycelium networks glow softly in the darkness. Cordyceps fungi infect specific insect species, eventually sprouting ghostly growths from their hosts' bodies. The leaf litter teems with tiny but essential creatures. A handful of soil might contain thousands of species of microarthropods invisible to the naked eye. These tiny engineers shred fallen leaves into smaller pieces, increasing surface area for bacterial decomposition. The Amazon River system forms the planet's greatest freshwater network, a liquid labyrinth serving as both lifeline and highway through the forest. During peak flood season, it discharges over 7 million cubic feet of water per second, enough to fill 2,800 Olympic swimming pools every minute. The basin contains 3 distinct river types, each creating specialized habitats. Whitewater rivers, like the main Amazon, carry nutrient-rich sediments, appearing muddy brown. Blackwater rivers, like the Rio Negro, contain tannins from decaying vegetation, creating acidic waters the color of strong tea. Clearwater rivers drain ancient formations, their mineral-poor waters appearing transparent blue-green. These rivers host unmatched aquatic diversity. Over 2,500 fish species have been documented, more than in the entire Atlantic Ocean. The prehistoric Arapaima grows larger than a man, breathing air through a modified swim bladder. Electric eels generate shocks up to 860 volts to stun prey. Piranhas, contrary to their fearsome reputation, typically function as scavengers within complex food webs. Pink river dolphins navigate flooded forests with flexible necks, hunting fish among submerged tree trunks. These intelligent creatures feature prominently in indigenous mythology and represent one of the Amazon's most distinctive evolutionary stories. Water levels fluctuate up to 40 feet between dry and wet seasons. During high water, fish disperse into flooded forests to feed on fruits, seeds, and insects. A remarkable reversal where aquatic creatures harvest terrestrial resources. As waters recede, predators concentrate in shrinking pools, creating intense natural selection pressure. The Amazon represents Earth's greatest biological treasure, a living laboratory where evolution has produced diversity beyond imagination. Within this single ecosystem lives 1/10 of all known species on our planet. The numbers stagger comprehension. Scientists have identified over 16,000 different tree species, more than exist in all of North America. A single hectare might contain up to 300 tree species, while a similar area in temperate forests typically holds fewer than 20. Birds reach peak diversity here, with over 1,300 species, nearly 20% of all bird types on Earth. The harpy eagle, with a 7-foot wingspan and talons larger than grizzly bear claws, hunts monkeys from the canopy. Hummingbirds, no larger than bumblebees, hover with precision to extract nectar from specialized flowers. The rainforest mammal diversity rivals its birds. Over 400 species inhabit the basin, from tiny pygmy marmosets weighing less than a deck of cards to giant river otters over 6 feet long. Elusive jaguars, third largest of all big cats, swim rivers and climb trees with equal skill, their rosette patterns providing perfect camouflage in dappled forest light. Reptiles and amphibians reach peak diversity here. The basin hosts over 1,000 amphibian species, including poison dart frogs, whose secretions indigenous peoples use to poison blowgun darts. Massive anacondas, reaching over 25 feet, hunt both in water and on land. Most remarkable is the insect diversity. Scientists estimate the Amazon contains over 2.5 million insect species, the majority still undescribed. A single acre might contain 70,000 different species of beetles alone. Butterfly diversity reaches its zenith, with some areas hosting over 1,300 species. Beneath the Amazon's beauty lies a realm where danger takes countless forms, nature unfiltered and occasionally lethal. The jaguar hunts with silent efficiency, delivering a unique skull-piercing bite directly through temporal bones, a technique no other cat possesses. Though rarely aggressive toward humans, these powerful predators command respect. Venomous creatures abound. The Bushmaster, South America's longest venomous snake at over 10 feet, delivers hemotoxic venom that destroys tissue and prevents blood clotting. The Brazilian wandering spider holds the Guinness record for world's most venomous spider, with venom capable of causing painful priapism in male victims before potential respiratory failure. The Amazon's waters hold their own dangers. Electric eels deliver shocks powerful enough to stun a horse. Bull sharks navigate thousands of miles upriver, bringing oceanic predators deep into the forest. Stingrays bury themselves in riverbed sand, their barbed tails delivering excruciating wounds. Even the smallest creatures pose outsized threats. The bullet ant earned its name from a sting described as pain unlike anything else in nature. Botflies lay eggs on mosquitoes, which then transfer them to human skin, where larvae develop under the surface in painful moving lumps. Plants have evolved their own weaponry. The manchineel tree produces sap so caustic it blisters skin on contact and can cause blindness. Some species of stinging nettle cause pain so intense it can incapacitate victims for days. Perhaps the most insidious dangers are microscopic. The warm, humid environment creates perfect conditions for bacteria and fungi. Wounds infected within hours can become life-threatening without proper treatment. Yet the Amazon's most significant danger may be disorientation. The dense vegetation makes navigation extraordinarily difficult. Visibility rarely extends beyond 20 meters. The jungle canopy blocks GPS signals, and magnetic compasses function poorly near the equator. The Amazon operates on rhythms both ancient and precise, a 24-hour cycle of transformation that resembles two entirely different worlds occupying the same space. Dawn arrives with explosive energy. Beginning around 5:30 a.m., the morning chorus erupts as hundreds of bird species announce their territories simultaneously. Howler monkeys contribute their haunting roars, audible for miles. This symphony represents one of nature's most spectacular acoustic events, a wall of sound marking the forest's reawakening. As sunlight strengthens, diurnal creatures emerge. Brilliantly colored macaws fly in pairs to feeding grounds. Capuchin monkeys begin foraging in coordinated groups. The forest canopy becomes a hive of activity as temperature and humidity reach optimal levels. Midday brings different patterns. As temperatures climb, many creatures retreat. The intense equatorial sun creates a temporary lull in activity. Jaguars rest in shaded thickets. Birds take shelter in the understory. This midday quiet creates a deceptive impression of emptiness. By mid-afternoon, towering clouds deliver intense rainfall. The Amazon's famous daily showers that provide up to 120 inches annually in some regions. These rain events create their own rhythms of activity. Frogs emerge to catch insects flushed from hiding. The forest drinks deeply, processing rainfall through layers of vegetation. As dusk approaches, another transformation begins. Daytime creatures retreat while nocturnal specialists emerge. The transition happens with surprising speed. Within 30 minutes, the forest becomes an entirely different world. Night brings new sensory dimensions. Bioluminescent fungi glow with ethereal blue-green light. Fireflies create complex signaling patterns. The calls of nocturnal birds replace the daytime chorus with more haunting, isolated sounds. Mammals hidden by day now rule the darkness. Kinkajous emerge to feed on fruit with specialized night vision. Ocelots hunt with dilated pupils that gather available starlight. Vampire bats use infrared sensors to locate sleeping birds and mammals. Many plant species flower exclusively at night, depending on specific bat or moth species for pollination. Seeds dispersed by day-feeding animals travel different distances and directions than those moved by nocturnal creatures, creating complex dispersal patterns. Long before Europeans glimpsed the Amazon, sophisticated human societies had developed intimate relationships with the forest. Indigenous peoples represent some of humanity's most successful adaptations to a complex environment, not by dominating nature, but by understanding and working within its systems. Before European contact, an estimated 10 million indigenous people lived in the Amazon across hundreds of distinct cultural groups. Today, approximately 1.5 million remain, speaking over 300 languages and maintaining unique traditions, despite centuries of external pressure. The Yanomami cultivate forest gardens that blend seamlessly into the surrounding jungle, polyculture systems that mimic natural forest succession. The Kayapo create forest islands of concentrated resources, enhancing biodiversity while providing sustainable harvests. These sophisticated land management practices challenge the notion of the Amazon as pristine wilderness. Much of the forest has been subtly shaped by human hands for thousands of years. Traditional knowledge about plant properties represents one of humanity's most valuable medical resources. The Matses people have developed a pharmacopoeia so sophisticated that it differentiates similar plant species based on their varying effects on different medical conditions. Indigenous worldviews typically emphasize reciprocal relationships with the natural world rather than exploitation. Research consistently demonstrates that indigenous managed territories maintain forest cover better than conventional protected areas. Satellite imagery shows dramatic differences at territory boundaries. Deforestation often stops precisely at the borders of indigenous lands. The Amazon stands as Earth's greatest testament to life's boundless creativity and resilience. From canopy to forest floor, from riverbank to indigenous village, this magnificent ecosystem demonstrates nature's genius for finding opportunity in every ecological niche. What happens in the Amazon matters far beyond its boundaries. As the forest breathes, it helps stabilize our global climate. As its diversity flourishes, it maintains evolutionary possibilities that benefit all humanity. As indigenous cultures preserve their knowledge, they safeguard insights accumulated through thousands of years of observation. The forest has demonstrated its resilience over millions of years, adapting to changing conditions and recovering from disturbances. But the pace and scale of current human impacts test the limits of this resilience. We stand at a pivotal moment when our decisions will determine whether future generations inherit an Amazon that continues to astonish with its abundance or merely read about what was lost. In the dense green heart of South America, life exists in its most exuberant expression, a living library of evolutionary innovation, a carbon vault of planetary importance, a hydrological system that waters a continent, and a cultural landscape that has shaped human societies for millennia. This has been Wild Discoveries with Sarmad. Join us next time as we continue to explore Earth's most extraordinary environments.